All right. So we had the the combat cast. It was very exciting. I was excited. Everyone that was in the stream was so excited. Except the people at the combat cast. Anyway. So, and I will do a separate video. Right? About some of the stuff about Quan's cheese. Quan's cheese. But firstly, I want to sort of talk about what changes are coming, what we're expecting. Ricky Maru made an excellent post on the Mortal Kombat 1 forum on Steam. I was going to say something, but I won't. Right. Here goes, Combat Cast announcements. Figure I'd post it here after I had it on Reddit for a while. Right. And then I'll just double check and see if there's anything else. So he posts, obviously Crossplay is the big one. They go, Crossplay is coming. Dun dun dun. In 2 months' time. Oh man. In 2 months' time, we're getting Crossplay. 2 months' time. No, I can just hear some of them. You should be grateful. It's like, Clown, as I keep mentioning, if betas for other fighting games can have working crossplay, what is NRS' excuse in this regard? There is none. It is shit. They are literally just dragging this thing out. It's like a dead horse, and they've just lassoed it and just dragging that shit. Okay? You got Tekken 8 dropping next month. Like, one of the biggest fighting games of all time. Feature packs, massive roster, crossplay, all these other quality of life features that they mention in the podcast, or the Combat Cast, that we still don't have. We still don't know when they're coming in. It could be later, when Quan Chi drops. It could be next month, who knows? Like, this is just like... This is just a failed state. Now, the crossplay at the very least is between... And everyone goes, oh, you're so negative. I don't give a shit if you think I'm negative or not. We paid for this. This is what you people don't understand. We paid for a product. We're not supposed to get the rest of the product months in, like, later on. It should have been there in the beginning. Right? This is the soy controlling the boy. Stop it. Right? You are supposed to expect more because you are paying for something. Remember, one cannot survive without the other. Okay? They can't survive without our money. And sure, we can't keep Mortal Kombat alive if it dies. But we can go back and play all the older games, can't we? So it's in their best interest to keep things, like, you know, on par at the very least with the other games. For example, the Epic Game Store is a shit app. It's a terrible launcher. One of the worst launchers I've ever seen, right, as a storefront. Still is, after all these years, after all the billions of dollars that Tim Sweeney owns. Yes, I said that on purpose that way, right, because he's a friggin' pig. Right, yet they make no advancements, none whatsoever, to try and rival at least any other storefront that has, you know, modern day features. Because people go, oh, it launched, you know, when Steam launched it didn't have much. Yeah, in the, what, 2000s? Not now. Oh, man. Like, it's like buying a car now and they go, oh, well, we didn't bother putting power steering, you know, airbags, power windows, you know, because a car that you bought in the 80s, you know, didn't have that. At least not in Australia. Anyway, so they're also going to be adding a Wi-Fi filter like completely. So if it's a Wi-Fi connection at all, you can decline it. But again, they should just be adding a filter so that you can decline a ranked match, right? Because all the Wi-Fi people out there are up in arms. Discrimination. Yeah, well, get better internet, right? You want to be poor, that's on you. I'm just kidding, by the way. But the thing is, though, that like sometimes a Wi-Fi connection can be fast, depending on what they're paid for their internet, right? So again, this thing, like, it should just be a blanket, just allow people to deny any match, right? This is just crumbs at this point, doing that. They're also adding intros to classic towers and all boss fights. So you know when you go to the classic tower and it just goes to black. It's great. Wonderful stuff. Yeah. That's what's happening. Yay, thank you so much. I'm very, very happy with that. Anyway, not that anyone plays towers. Well, maybe people do, but like, after a while, you need a little bit more than just the towers. No new Mesa this season. Yeah, so I'm assuming though that we're gonna have to grind through the same shit, right? As soon as the new season drops, we're gonna have to grind all through those Mesas till we get to the Sub-Zero one, right? I'm not looking at that. I'm not looking at that shit, right? It's just a failed game mode. It's just the worst. Right? Which then compounds with everything else. This is what people don't get. Is that it's not just the fact that, like, you know, the entire game's amazing and then the combat's a bit shit, you know, or whatever. No. Every single component of this game, apart from, say, some of the character designs and stages, is shit. There's too much wrong than there is right. There's going to be a new seasonal tower which will have skins again, so basically what we got now. Darius is getting a new move. They might add more moves to characters in the future, which I think is code for cameos. I don't know if they're going to add moves to main characters. That would be cool. That would be kind of cool. Maybe they could give Reiko a move involving his spear, considering he's like wielding a spear in his like intro and his little walkout animation and stuff. Like, honest to God, like, this game feels like there's 35-40% sitting around on some desk. The towers starting with double health bars. Starting with double health bar enemies. Those fights are now going to be put at the end, not at the start. It's amazing that they only just figured this out now. Boss fights are going to have more intense music. They don't say if it's a newly added track or not. Wow. How about some good defensive options? Nah. The best we can do, bro, is more intensity. Jeez, man. Right. Kano's eye laser is now changed to mid, so is Sonya's energy rings is changed to mid. Kung Lao's hat is now no longer plus when it's point blank. So, you know, all those poor esports people out there, you know, you'll have to use your skill to find something better, yeah? You'll have to be skillful to work around this change. There may be other quality of life changes coming in the patch, and we won't know, obviously, until that drops, right? So yeah, that's the updates. Dude, by the time February rolls around, like, that's the thing, man. Right? I don't know. I don't know. We're getting what? Who are we getting next month? Is it Homelander or Peacemaker next month? I think it's Peacemaker, isn't it? No, it's not, because we're only getting Chameleon. We're only getting the cameo. We're not getting an actual fighter. So who we got left? We'll have 4 characters left, which takes us through to April, but it won't be, because it has to be stretched out to June, roughly. So we don't have Ermac, Takeda, Homelander, and Peacemaker. Right. So that's going to have to be stretched out, as well as the remaining cameos, including that absolute abomination Janet Cage. The state of this game, I tell you what, boys and girls, right? How is it? How does the mighty have fallen? Right. But at the very least, in 2 months' time, I will be able to play with some of you guys. The problem is, though, with crossplay, right, is that, are they going to introduce rooms? One of the ideas I wanted to do with the launch of MK1 was set up room for fans of the channel, right? So that way we can all jump in there and fight each other, right, as fans of the channel. You know, run a King of the Hill, whatever you want. So crossplay is great when it comes to like randomly pairing with casuals or ranked, but what about rooms? What about setting that up so people can like create their own little community that every day they can jump in and meet other people and fight them and stuff like that? That's what we need. We need that as well. We need that with crossplay at the same time. So you never know. Who knows? Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time.